My very first video on this channel was about how there is no one way to be trans, and that all that matters is how you see yourself. With that in mind, it probably won't shock you to know that videos titled things like "Trans Man Reacts to Crazy Transtrender" just make me kind of sad. There are a few variations on this video. Generally, one trans person, most commonly a non-binary trans person, will make a video expressing a leftist viewpoint. Maybe it'll be about there being infinite genders, or about ditching gender-changing areas entirely in favour of just individual cubicles, or maybe that assuming somebody's gender under any circumstances constitutes an act of violence. And then another trans YouTuber will do a reaction video in which they say that this person is an embarrassment to the community and or not really trans, as an attention-seeking cis person who wants to feel special. Fuck you very much, that second person. Seriously, as a community, as a group of people, trans folks get shit from so many people on the outside. We have to justify our existence to doctors and legislators and just the ever-mouthy general public. Do we really need this kind of shit from inside the walls as well? I mean, I get it. We don't all agree. My own political and social views are sort of left of centre, and so some of the more radical leftist policies do make me kind of squint a bit. But just because I don't agree with all of a person's views doesn't justify personal attacks or make tearing them down in public at all useful for any of us. In my opinion, it all kind of stinks of assimilationism. This phenomenon was incredibly visible in the gay community during the push for equal marriage, but has existed pretty much forever. The more palatable, easily marketable, just like you but gay members trying to distance themselves from and lashing out at the more flamboyant members. Lots of accusations that the flaming and feminine made the rest of us look bad, and wouldn't it be so much easier to get accepted if these people either didn't exist or shut up? Sorry, but if you are prepared to throw the less socially acceptable members of your movement to the wolves just for better mainstream appeal, you are a damn coward. The push for equal rights does not have a dress code. The most stark trans-specific example of this that I've seen recently was a letter published in The Guardian, which I have linked to in the doobly-doo, named "In Defence of Transsexual Rights." In it, a group of older and more traditional trans people who prefer the term transsexual talk about how transgender activists are undermining their legitimacy by, well, existing and wanting the same rights as them. They talk about changes to the Gender Recognition Act and, rather amusingly, make a lot of the same misconceptions that I explicitly discussed in my "You Are Wrong About the Gender Recognition Act" video, which I will, I guess, also link to down below, and say that they will have a harder time getting acceptance because other trans people who aren't like them also want the same acceptance they do. In said letter, they describe other members of the trans community as sexual fetishists, and undermine the gender of anyone who doesn't want surgical intervention, and oh my god, fuck off, seriously! No one's rights should come at the cost of anybody else's. This is not a zero-sum game. No community is a monolithic entity. There is no trans agenda, not just because we're not the frickin' Illuminati, but also because getting the entire trans community to agree on such a thing... that is laughably idealistic. We disagree endlessly about what problems are the most important, and certainly on what the best solutions for those problems are. So all you can really do is work towards the things that matter to you and support other people as they do the same. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to be back. See you soon.